for our winter cozy sweater self-portrait, we need to start with our decorating our sweater and our hat. So what I'm going to be giving you is different colors of paper. You can choose whichever one you want. And you'll also get a hat. And again, you can choose whichever colors you want. You'll also be given a band for your hat after. So again, we're decorating the hat part and the sweater part. And what has inspired this is needle felting. And needle felting is a process where you stitch a decorative design into a sweater. So these are just examples, but you can see the stitch marks. So the stitch marks are different increments and different dashes and different patterns. So before we begin decorating our sweater, we want to look at some of these patterns and how to create them. So with this, I have an array of colors, and you're welcome to use any of these. You just have to keep in mind that pink is probably not going to show up very well on pink, right? And work from there. Likewise, purple isn't going to show up super well on purple. Same as blue. Blue will, but again, you want to go for contrasting colors. Maybe if this is cool, you might use the warm colors to go on top of that and see how they pop, and vice versa. This is warm, and you might want to use the cool colors to decorate more. So if that plays into your design, you just have to keep that in mind. So anything can become a pattern. You could start with dashes and maybe more dashes. And then between those, you can come in with an extra pattern. And again, it's to look like stitches. So we're not drawing complete lines, we're drawing stitch marks. Another fun one could be to do a wavy line. But as I do this line, I'm making sure it's wavy. So if it helps you, you can take a light pencil and draw it, and then come along and do your stitches, your stitch dash lines. And again, it's really fun to do kind of a pattern in a pattern. So dots are fine because you can stitch a dot. And add as many different things as you want. You can also do zigzag stitches for decorating your sweater and hat. And if I repeated that, that's kind of fun. And you can always add in a pattern with a pattern if you wanted to. So for this, I could add maybe a pink on top. So however you want to do this, I'm going to leave it up to you. So on my sweater, you again can use a little pencil to design. Say you wanted that wavy line, draw really lightly. Say I wanted my initial, I could draw a box of an E, like the box letter of that, as you can see. And then when I go to do it, I'm not guessing. I can just follow these lines and make my stitches to make my E. Like so. Maybe I want another little longer stitches to border it, which is totally fun. So again, we're not coloring it in, we're just doing lots of fun little stitches. Up here, maybe I want my wavy line. I'll do 2 wavy lines, but it's totally up to you and what you want to do. And green's always fun. Green and pink. So again, I'm just leaving all of this up to you. Okay, so again, you can do the hat. Now with the hat, if you want to make it look a little more round, you could do a rounding border like so. And maybe I want to do little X's to make my line. So again, it's just a bunch of stitch patterns. It's not coloring in, it's not solid line. It's just something a little different. And however you do this is fine. So there you go. The second part of this project is we need to draw our face, and we'll practice this in class some. And then after we draw it, we're gonna use a China marker to line our draws, make draw our lines. We're going to do that. You don't have to worry too much about the hair because it is gonna get covered by the hat. But you wanna give the indication of what way the hair is falling or however you do that. And then we'll be painting it in next week. So for this, I want to look off of my simple line drawing cheat sheet. And there's different ways to do your eyes and your mouth, and I'll leave that up to you. But the first thing you have to understand is that if this is your entire head, your eyes come about halfway. So for me, this is going to be our head, and I lightly drew it in here. And you'll see we'll have our sweater under and our hat on top. So again, this is the shape of your head, and your eyes start in halfway between. Your eyes aren't up here at the top of your head, they're actually halfway between. So you can make a little dot like so, and you can decide what kind of eyes you want to have. If you want them closed, you can start with a small little U, wide little U for them being closed. If you want them open, you'll extend that just a little bit, and then you can make the top of your eye. And you have to give yourself eyeballs. And we're keeping this just super simple, okay? If you want to put lashes on, you're welcome to, but that's up to you. Just a few. Okay, now next for the nose, you have 2 options. You can just do the little hook for the nose or the eyes. I just like a little nose, like so. And then for the mouth, I'm gonna leave that up to you to do. I think I'll do my mouth open. And that's all you wanna worry about. Next, for the hair, there's some things to consider. The main thing for your hair is, if you're a girl, you wanna figure out where your part is. I always part my hair on the side of my head. So I know that as my hair goes across, this is where it parts. And you can look in the mirror if that helps you. And I think I'm gonna give myself a little ponytail off to the side, like so. And again, don't worry too much about how it looks up here because the hat's gonna cover it, but you can have it like so. And little C for the ears if you want, but that's about all. We're not coloring it in, we're just doing simple lines. The next thing you wanna do is go over your lines with the China marker. And again, this is the first time you've ever drawn a self-portrait maybe, so we're just keeping it very simple. Some artists specialize in the face, and It takes a lot of practice and a lot of years to master it. So just keep it as simple as you can. So, and again, for my hair, I'm just gonna do a couple simple lines. And again, when you're drawing, make sure with the pencil, you draw super lightly. So if you don't like the way something's looking, you can change it. However, and then the last thing would be give yourself your shape of your head. You can then do the little bit ears. For the neck, you just want to do a broad C this way and a broad C that way. And that's all we're going to do.